We are all being called to grow and transform in ways that we cannot control how we want to grow or transform. That's what I'm going to talk about today, and how, unfortunately, most of us need crisis in order to make big transformation that we need to make. So stay tuned. Video journal, January 6th, 2022. My goodness, I've had so many awarenesses, so many awakenings that have enabled me to let go more of who I am not. The last couple of years has been a massive letting go, at least in my life. And I know for many as well. Really, I feel that all of us are being called to grow in ways that, we cannot attempt to control how our growth is happening. And most of us have lived our life in a sense of having some sort of control. And I know my past has been very much about control. I tried to control my environment in order to feel safe. And the last journey, especially the last year journey, especially has been flow and understanding flow and surrender and letting go and trusting in something bigger than me has got a bigger plan than I could possibly imagine. And as part of the reason why I've used the flow as my last name, I changed to Sarah D. Flow. I've created co-founded the network, Flow Network, with us understanding that, I call and have been called and deemed a broadcast visionary. I'm a visionary, and I have foreseen our world going through massive change, and knowing that I'm a way shower and a natural born leader, and always have been ahead of the trends and ahead of the curve, if you will. And yet there has been a huge part of me that has denied this and abandoned who I really was in order to stay in what I thought was comfortable, and it was not. So I'm going to dive into this. I have a model that I'm going to bring up that was actually created by my business partner and co-founder at Flow Network. That is just really helpful when we see a model and a visual of kind of describing life events. And I've created videos in the past relative to this comfort zone and what happens when we're expanding, and really trying to give language and visual to this transformational journey that we're all experiencing, more so now than ever. And I feel 2022 is going to be highly transformational, and we are either going to find two sides of the coin, either the ones in full resistance of this, kicking and screaming and trying to hold on to what's comfortable and hold on to old ways of doing things that are really not working anymore. And those that are really surrendering to flow, going slow, going with the rhythm of nature and the rhythm of this higher perspective, the rhythm of the universe, basically, and the rhythm of nature. And that there is a simplicity in that, there is a beauty in that. And there is also pain, because our ego wants to hold on to what's comfortable and familiar and fears change. So that's where the pain comes in, basically. So let's just bring it up right away, the model. So most of us are in denial, going along life, denying that anything needs to change. And then we move into betrayal, and we feel whether somebody, some person or situation outside of us represents this betrayal, that we've been betrayed. We thought that life was one way, or we thought a person was something, we thought we could trust something, and that some event occurs, some person in our life represents that feeling of I've been betrayed. Ultimately, it's how we've been betraying ourselves and how we've been betraying our own inner wisdom and our own intuition. Then we go into abandonment. Then we go into crisis. And this is usually what happens. We usually evolve at the speed of crisis. This is what Tim Glover likes to say, who has been creating these models and really observing, similar to how I myself have been observing human psyche and researching people like Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and many yogis, ancient philosophers, all talk about this, evolving at the speed of crisis, and then this spontaneous evolution that can occur when we get into crisis and we finally accept that we need to have an identity shift. So, for my own personal experience, I knew deep down that I was a leader. I said yes to the journey of stepping into that role and let go of a lot of things in my life in order to take on this role, in terms of owning my truth and owning the vision and my inner knowingness and where my heart was pulling me, and battled with all of the ways that my ego and my little self was afraid to step into that role, and was afraid of my power, and was afraid of my bigness. And I had a crisis. I broke my ankle, um, and it really opened me up and pulled me into a place of what I needed in order to accept who I was and who I'm becoming. I'm still in that becoming period. And I am feeling and experiencing this identity shift in myself where I can't deny it anymore. I wake up in the morning and I am pulled to share, to share experience, and to share models, to share stories, my past stories. Because when I was going through this identity shift, and basically this is an awakening process, this awakening to um, this cycle of denial, betrayal, abandon, crisis. This is an awakening cycle where we recognize, where we have been in denial of things needing to change in our life, and then waking up to that because of some sort of an event where we felt betrayed or abandoned. And it would be so great if we could make that identity shift before the betrayal happens. But it's been my experience that those are the things that need to wake us up. They need to wake us up to what's really been going on inside, and we've been really been called to step into inside. And more and more and more people are awakening and having these experiences, and it can really be disorienting. Up can feel down, and down can feel up. And because you've trusted something, you have this, like, who can I trust? If I thought I was following my intuition, maybe this is you or not, but I can certainly say, like, I thought that I was following, my intuition. I thought I could really believe this, and then this happened, and now I don't know if I can trust myself. I don't know who to trust. And I went through this cycle, and it's really lonely. It's really overwhelming. And so that's what drives me to share my story and share my experiences, and just kind of free flow journal is my experimenting in this identity shift for myself, in terms of, okay, how do I want to show up authentically and share myself in the digital landscape, and what feels comfortable for me, who am I becoming? And I also talk a lot about using video as a really powerful self-reflective tool to get in touch with your intuition, and to learn that even though you experienced times of betrayal or denial, not to beat yourself up about it, and understand that was just a part of your becoming, and that you were listening to your intuition at the best of the ability that you could at that time. And that it's a dance. It's a dance to understand your perception, your it's a dance to understand where you have biases or judgments in your perception, and it's all in the name of growing. And the universe, or whatever you want to call it, life itself, nature itself, has a way of weaving in lessons that are unique for you, that are going to strengthen you and ultimately your sweet spot in life, in that place where you feel flow, where you feel like you're effortlessly being guided to create something that fulfills your heart, that's a part of your mission and a part of your reason for being here. And I believe we all have a reason for being here, and we will all experience lessons in life that will be not only important for your own life, but important for whatever your mission or your purpose is for being here. So if you can go through this journey with an understanding, a higher perspective, I've been seeing eagles all over the place. Eagles represent higher perspective. And if we can go through our awakening journey and this life with a higher perspective, by understanding and using models such as this, that this is an experience that is not unique to just you or just me, but most people, and that you're not alone. And if you can hold the perspective of gratitude through the lessons that you're learning, you will move through them faster. You will grab the wisdom in them, and you will transform. You will create that identity shift for yourself. And we go through identity shifts all the time, and we can have identity shifts every single day. And I know that I experience this, and it's rapid. Our evolution is happening so fast, and we are changing so fast. We are growing so fast. And it really is a frequency game, this life. It's our our frequency, it's our consciousness, it's our level of consciousness, it's our level of self-awareness, it's our ability to understand who we really are and what this world is really about, how reality is really working, that enables us to flow through life with more ease and acceptance, and to embrace the pain. Someone, I don't know who said this, but pain is pay attention, integrate now. It's a way of alerting you to where you're trying to fit into something that's not you. Or your body, you walk into a wall, you hit it, ouch, okay, don't go there. But integrate that. Okay, there's a wall here, I accept it. Part of flowing is accepting what you're feeling, like integrating, and it's like bringing love and compassion and non-judgment, and then learning the lesson and the wisdom. Okay, there's a wall here, so now I know that the best way to go is this way. Just using that as an example. But for me, what do I want to share here? You know what? I need to take a sip of water. I actually have pain in my stomach right this second. And our stomach is our solar plexus. It's our power center. And I have been understanding all the ways I've been giving my power away in previously, and reclaiming my power, and reclaiming and bringing love to all the ways I've judged myself, or I haven't forgiven myself for not being able to claim my power fully in the past, and the pain that it caused, not just myself, but others around me as well. And so to bring forgiveness to myself, and to forgive everybody in my life, because they were just playing their role, and they were doing their role, and we're all, in our relationships, they can be really messy, from a lower perspective and a lower understanding of how the world works. And 2022, we're going to really need to understand the power of our transformation, the power of forgiveness, and the power in gratitude, to be able to extract the wisdom in the wounds and share our learnings, to share our hearts. And I believe that video is a really powerful way to communicate and to connect. And whether you share your videos, whether you feel called to share videos with your community or your clients or your team, that's great. But even if you just do it for yourself and then reflect later by watching them back, it can be really, really powerful way to transform and reflect on where you have where you were in denial, where you were, or who or what betrayed you, and what lessons you learned from that about how you were betraying yourself or abandoning yourself, and the gift of the crisis. And who are you now? What space are you creating for yourself? Are you trying to push and you're missing and being fast and moving, trying to move fast and trying to make things happen and losing the space to discover who you really are? I've heard we created the Flow Content Creation Challenge, and so people have been sharing what they're grateful for, because we're in week 1 is all about gratitude and the power of gratitude, the power of the frequency of gratitude, and especially what we were grateful for through the crisis that has been on the planet, and the pandemics and the lockdowns. And one of the theme I'm seeing is people just like, I just want to come back to me. I want to come back to the core of who I am and my power. And it's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to end on that. I will also really quickly here, if I can, pull up the Flow Content Creation image to invite you into the Flow Network community on Facebook. Or if you're not on Facebook, you can find us also on Instagram. We're also trying to get on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. We're there. So feel free to join us at Flow Network. At Flow Network 99 is our link. And I'm talking slow because I'm also trying to find something, which this isn't exactly the one I was looking for, but here it is on Instagram, and I'm at Sarah D. Flow. And we would love to see you on video. And if you'd like to work with me, you can do that and find my website is sarahdflow.ca, actually. And it's a journey. So wishing you so much compassion, forgiveness, light, and love during this time of great transformation and great growth and great opportunity. For now, that is all. I'm going to leave you with that. So until the next time we chat, Flow over and out.